Hello there, Lynx here and welcome from the space, because that's where we are apparently. 76 gigs left. I did not render anything technically yesterday, but I think we can manage. Yumina the Ethereal, let's continue. A few days have passed since we started living on the Zellerm. We've displayed a frightening ability to adapt, especially Yumina, and now we've blended in with the crew seamlessly. For it's normal for us to be relaxed at all times, we haven't decided to stay here yet, so I think we shouldn't get too familiar with them. Well, but we're talking about Yumina. I am positive that she's not really thinking too much about what she's doing. On the other hand, that's an awfully appropriate smile. I mean, simile, sorry. I think you know this, but what's not what I'm talking about? That's not what I'm talking about. Please don't try to cover it up. Don't hurt me. Our chief Kirara doesn't seem to have any intention of blending in with the crew. She participates in the training programs and tests in a business-like fashion and spends the rest of her time inside her room. What's so weird about that? So why did you call me? Me? I'm progressing decently with the training. It's painful. Well, if you're asking me whether or not I think I can trust them, then I do. I recall the Zellerm's crew. I was going to watch them to see what they were planning with Yumina. If they were just trying to unilaterally use her, then we'd need to escape from here. But those fears turned out to be unfounded. Also, don't mind me, but I need to turn off, for example, Vivaldi notifications and for some reason Office notifications, because they constantly turn on. Anyway, I guess I'm glad about that, because we are in space, so running away would be the biggest pain in the ass ever. I mean, we could try teleporting, but it's not just Captain Izel and Zieda and Falua. The entire crew seems to be upfront with us. I believe they're already fighting for the good of all the people in the galaxy. They aren't using us, they're working together with us. Hopefully. Since it's a question of this whole galaxy, it's our concern as well. So it makes sense for us to cooperate, I think. Not necessarily, no. I haven't decided yet. I'll make up my mind once I'm clear what you and Yumina want to do. I'm only waiting for your opinions, that's all. I don't want to leave if it means leaving you guys behind in a dangerous situation. Yumina doesn't seem to have made up her mind yet either, and we might get caught up in the fighting little by little at this rate. Kirara seems to think about something for a moment, but then she's back to her old self. She's been extremely laid back these past few days. She's from space to begin with, so she must be used to living like this. I know that. I considered her a friend. Yumina probably still does. But it turns out I may only have been one of the people who were there to keep an eye on us. That's kind of sad, to be honest. Makes sense. But I want to stay. Chief. What do you plan to do?
私も自分で考えて決める。宇宙の敵というものにも多少の興味はあるしな。
In before that cosmic enemy is what appeared in Ordacle. If that's them, easy. We'll move them out of the way.
だが、そのために抵当に入れるのは自分の命だ。希少価値があるとしても、あまり利が勝つ選択ではないな。
Yeah. Kirara smiles bitterly in what might be self-derision. But why would she make that face? Hey, Chief!
さあ、もう言ってくれ。私にも考える時間が必要なのは分かっただろう。
Ah, my neck. The conversation is over, so I quietly remove myself. There is clearly something wrong with Kirara, for maybe that's only natural considering the circumstances. I return to my room, thinking about what may happen next. How much meaning is there for us to risk our lives in this war? We'll have to come up with the answer to that ourselves. Who knows? Don't sign up for wars. Don't sign me up for the wars, that's for sure. My fingertips are trembling, but I force them to be steady. Carefully, I complete the maneuver. I'm currently operating a huge man-shaped machine made of steel. In other words, I'm piloting a giant robot. I still haven't gotten the basic operation down, so I need to concentrate. That's because I check my location. Like Zia said, my machine has overshot the place where I was supposed to come to a halt. I recall the procedure and correct my location. If I remember right... Yeah, this should do it. Setting the main generator to standby mode, locking joints, all done. I will walk through the procedure, calling out everything I do. Zia told me that makes it easier to remember. It does, normally, yeah. Come to think of it, my old man told me something similar back when he trained me. One step at a time. I complete the docking sequence. I might be a new type. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know? I hope you do. If you don't, Gundam. Anyway, thanks, but I still don't feel like I'm doing it right. Yeah, you said there was support for some kind? Huh? The Radiant frames, when I first saw them, I was rendered speechless. I mean, there are giant robots like you would find in comics. It seems a joke that we fight the enemy in these things out there in space. The Galactic Federation's ace in the hole. You said they were non-human life forms, but I still don't really understand. Apparently there's a silicon life form installed in each Radiant frame. Something like that. I haven't really looked into it myself, but I don't think we have found anything like that. Partner. I see. That makes sense, obviously. It's easy to understand, that's for sure. It's hard to communicate with it, but it manages part of the frame's operations. That part is the use of the ethereal power, for it doesn't have as much power as organic beings. It's quite adept at using it. It matches its abilities to what the main pilot is thinking. That would be very hard for us to do. Anyway, thanks to those beings, the Galactic Federation has managed to effectively find the extra dimensionals even with a limited supply of ethereals. Zieda seems pretty passionate about protecting his friends, in that he's no different than me. If he was a nasty fellow, I would be able to argue with him, but at this rate... Okay. At Diada's suggestion, I power down my machine, then I wipe the sweat off my forehead and get down to the hangar floor. We're heading to the mess hall to get something to drink. As I walk through the ship, I once again find it hard to believe that it is indeed a ship. From what I know of Earth ships, all the rooms and passages should be small because of the limited amount of space available, but the Zellerm is really roomy. I always thought it was... what was the name of the thing? Knights of Sidonia. Yeah, they're basically a ship which is a size of a city, I would say. Maybe not huge city, but you know. And yeah, it's goodish anime, I guess. Anyway, I always thought it was odd, but when I found out about the silicon life forms, I stopped worrying about it. Oh boy, here we go again. It's probably designed this way to accommodate people of all the shapes and sizes. Sorry for the delay, but I just don't know yet. Ziada smiles at me. It's a friendly smile which makes it easy for me to trust him. Yumina, did you finish your training too? I mean, you just needed really to say her performance is lacking. No one be surprised about that. Yumina's training consists of singing, just like back on Earth. My own natural power is apparently suited for a warrior, so it makes sense for me to train with the soldiers. But in Yumina's case it's different. It's more into... oh, she's a support basically, that's true. Like a healer. That explains why I'm not a fan as well. I freaking really don't like healer characters. In all of the anime as well, by the way. I don't know, like killers are so annoying to me. Anyway, and only another Ethereal is able to interact with it. So she's back to being in Kirara's care, Ai is pitching into. Surprisingly, Ai has been increasingly helpful when it comes to tips about using her power. Even though her own aptitude isn't anywhere close to Yumina's, maybe it's because she's a natural born Ethereal from space. By the way, what about the chief? And before she's right behind you, man. Yeah. Since we haven't been here for a very long time, Ziada is apparently misunderstanding about Kirara based on her looks. I think he'll find out what she's like soon enough, because she's standing right behind him. Huh? You actually noticed? You! Yeah? Insensitive level 100% full. Actually, I is as mean to Mina as ever, which is not a bad thing. It's as if the distance I felt between us is gone completely. Actually, the only reason why I felt the distance in the first place may have been because I subconsciously avoided her myself. No, it's the way to communicate with Yumina. It's true. Well, let's leave the jokes at that. We're on our way to the mess hall. Care to join us? I not said that. With Yumina tagging along, it will be a noisy affair for. It's supposed to mean what I just said. It will be noisy. We walk onward at our leisure. We pass by other members of the crew on our way to the mess hall. This area seems to be frequently visited. But something strange. I'm noticing that some of the crew members are avoiding Yumina's gaze. Who cares? In before, you know who has the connection with the ship as well. I mean the store girl, right? I don't remember her name for. Anyway, Yumina doesn't seem to have noticed, but that's not surprising, she's always been like this. Unless I miss my guess, it's Yumina and Kirara that sentiment is aimed at. And the people giving them those looks are all people about a certain age. I wonder what that means. Huh? Ah, never mind. Just talking to myself. Yumina frowns, but then she goes back to talking to I and Zieda. I watch her from the corner of my eye, which reminds me, I think Captain Isel was acting rather nostalgic as well. For a moment I contemplate talking to the others about it, but in the end I decide to keep it to myself. There is just too much I don't know. What are you going to do after the break, Yumina? She called you. Mm-mm. Come think of it, I've seen you going to her room a lot lately. I once tried to come along, but Kirara called me a pervert and kicked me out just like that. What do they talk about, I wonder? I guess you can't come since I'm a guy, but what about you, I doesn't seem very interested. That's normal for her for. Both. Neither can I. We've arrived at the mess hall. We spent some time chatting with each other there. We've sure gotten friendly without noticing it. Is it the next day or something? No. Falua's question is met with notes. I actually don't. I mean, give me a second. I'll be ready in a second. Other than Zieda and Falua, the debate club is here also, with the exception of Kirara. Again. We've gathered for a more detailed explanation about the extra dimensionals. Oh boy, this bottle is full to the brim. Let's not spill it. Okay, we are ready to go. That's necessary, I guess, but still. Why are we doing this in the mess hall? Is it? Why do you ask me? I did call her, but she said she wouldn't come, so there is nothing I can do. It's not like I can order her around. She claimed she wasn't feeling very well. Or she just doesn't want like the place. Or wait, what did she say now? I mean, Or maybe she just doesn't like people in general, right? That's what I wanted to say. Anyway.
そうですね。それぞれの部屋の端末から異空体関連のデータベースにはアクセスできますから。ちゃんと説明を受けた方がわかりやすいだろうけどな。
You say that's not always true, okay? Some people basically understand things easier if they do their research on their own. Seriously. Unless you really are good at explanations, like you explain it in an easy way, then yes. But sorry, most people that try to explain something to me have no idea about... They know jack shit basically about explaining things. And yeah. Anyway, still that makes sense to me. Like for example at university, literally one professor. Literally only one. Throughout 3.5 years of my studies, was capable of explaining stuff in a good way. The others... Let's not comment on that. Anyway, still, that makes sense to me. What he said, apparently. Whatever. In Kirara's case, it would probably be more efficient. Oh my god, I'm so tired. To read up from a database than to attend an explanation tailored to the likes of us. Not much. Just start from the beginning. I mean, Yumina is here, okay? Enemy we can only fight by using ethereal power, that's about it.
というより、実はそれだけ分かっていれば十分かもしれない。嘘。本当です。実際それ以上のことはほとんど憶測になってしまいますから。
Wait, how long did you say you were fighting those things? 30 years? How the fuck do you not have more information?
数少ないきちんと分かっていることは、奴らは突然現れるということだ。 ワープとでも言えばいいのか。特殊な空間を渡ってどこにでも現れる。
What the?
一度現れた後は普通に移動することもあるし、いきなり消えることもある。まちまちだな。そんなの反則じゃない。
There are no rules in fights like that. Ziada smiles at Yumina's show of indignation. Can really fight an enemy like that?
昔は突然現れる異空体に大打撃を受けていたようだが、今は技術も進歩している。ある程度なら実際に現れる前に位置を特定することができるようにもなった。もっとも完全に現れるまでは一切の攻撃が効かないから、実際に受ける恩恵は敵からの奇襲が減ったくらいか。
But you're not taking as many losses anymore. Can't you take it a step further? If you know where the enemy is going to appear, can't you amass ships there and get the first strike in? If you can strike a decisive blow right away.
それは難しい。小型のものであっても異空体の耐久力は凄まじいから。
I see.
ま、イシリアル能力者の中でも攻撃能力の高そうな歩むなら、俺たちだけの時とは状況が違うだろうさ。
I can't really accept that fall. There are hundreds of radiant frames aboard Vezelerm. I'm not sure what kind of difference I alone could make. I'm doubtful, even if this is about my own power. I know, looking for a new world to live in or something cool. Alright, just do it for fun. Destroy the universe! I can't hide my shock at Ziada's statement. Beside me, Yumina's eyes have also gone white. Yes, that's what it means, Yumina. Why do people say that?
結局は消去法なんです。異空体の行動からあらゆる可能性を考えて、結局残ったのは宇宙を滅ぼすということでした。
Hmm.
星一つって単位でも大きすぎてうまく考えられないのに。
ユミナはスケールの大きい話に弱い。
In this case, I feel the same way, but how do you know they are after the whole universe? I mean, probably they are warping all around, right? That's basically from what I would say. I would guess over here. I mean, if they wanted one planet, they would be trying to warp close to that planet, right? Ayumu, really? You spent way too much time with Yumina.
生活圏を広めるためや資源の調達のため、銀河連邦では辺境を向けて探査線を出しています。それがいつの頃からか少しずつ消息を絶っていきました。
探査線が消えた時期を考えるとわかる。その原因となったものがどういうペースで勢力圏を広げていったのかがな。
I see, so that's how you know their objective is the entire universe.
はい、異空体は全方位に勢力を広げていきましたから。
I just explained that.
かろうじて抵抗できているのは銀河連邦本部を中心とした一定の中域だけです。
それってなんだかすごく大事なんじゃない？
They want to destroy the universe. Yes, it's a very big deal. Oh, for fuck's sake.
考えるまでもなく、そう。このままじゃ地球もどうなるかわからないってくらい。
I mean, if universe is wiped out, of course the Earth will be wiped out. I know Amy is so upset, which is also why I know what she'll decide next. We're just students, we don't belong to the world like this, you know that, right, Yumina? I say to remind Yumina of her position, but it doesn't seem to have an effect.
Ayumu.
Yeah?
私、今決めたわ。私はジーダやファルアーたちと一緒に戦う。
Good luck. I'm out. I can't help but sigh at that. I knew it.
私ってバカだから。
Kind of. You are
どうなるかなんてわかんない。
100% dumb.
宇宙全体のこととか大きすぎて想像もできないし。
I say nothing. Yumina's mind is made up. I can see that.
でも地球が危ないなら私は戦わなきゃいけないんだと思う。ほら、生徒会長にはみんなを守る義務もあると思うし。
Okay. I note in resignation. To be perfectly honest, I don't want to find this war. It's such a hassle. But I already decided. Then just go home, man! But I already decided. I'll protect Yumina even though I don't want to. And the other members of the debate club. Okay, that I want to.
二人とも協力してくれるのか。
Yeah, if Yumina says she will fight, then that's that.
オンに切る。やっと肩の荷が下りたぜ。
What do you mean?
ジーダ、ずっと赤島さんたちを仲間にしたいって言ってましたね。
ああ、歩むたちは頼りになりそうだからな。
We are not.
そこまで見込まれるのも。
She's not. She's not. Yeah.
なあ、お前たちが戦ってくれるって決めたんだから、キララも協力してくれるよな。
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
それはどうだろう。
Exactly. Exactly. Yumina gives me a dubious look. What? Don't look at me. Kirara said she wouldn't go back by herself and leave her club members behind. But I wonder if that still goes now, that those club members have decided to stay and fight. I think it will be okay, for I can't be certain.
難しい方なんですね。
No. The pink one is difficult. She's been thinking about a lot more things than us, that's for sure. I still can't figure figure her out, as usual. What do you think, I?
部長の考えてることはわからない。でもこれから戦っていくなら部長の力はきっと必要になる。
Yeah.
そうよね。
End of Desperado, let's go.
時だって実際に作戦を立ててたのはキララだったし。問題は部長に戦う意志があるのかどうか。それに
Then I stopped even though she seemed to be about to say something else. Besides what?
忘れて。ただの私の想像だから。
I don't know what I was about to say. I've been around her for a while now, but I still can't read her face. Yeah, because she's constant poker face, right?
何はともあれ、改めてこれからよろしくな。
こちらこそ。
Speak for yourself. I'm not glad about that. And so we have decided to take on a new fight. I wanted to run the freaking student council, not go into the space war. That's not true. That's not true. Let's go and protect the universe again. Speaking of which, I think they are working on new Sunrider, and that's something I'm looking forward to. Anyway, what will this determination bring us? There is somebody who knows the answer to that right now. So find out in the next... Oh. Chapter 6, Proof of a Girl's Determination. I did not expect another intro. This is basically like the next game right now. Anyway, let's end the episode here and we'll find out what's Kirara's decision in the next one and so on. So hope to see you there. I'll still continue recording to nightfall, but yeah, I need to pile it up somehow. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.